Mariah Carey has had a career spanning 4 decades, and today we're diving headfirst into the world of one of the most iconic albums in music history. It's an album that catapulted a superstar back to the top of the charts, brought us unforgettable hits, and marked a defining moment of Mariah's career, the Emancipation of Mimi. Before the release, Mariah faced the abyss but emerged more triumphant than ever. It's a story of resilience, reinvention, and the sweetest of comebacks. The Emancipation of Mimi is the 10th studio album by Mariah Carey, released in April 2005. Some would say it helped to define Mariah's career, as it not only saw her return to the forefront of the music industry, but also reinvented her image and sound. Between 1990, following the release of her self-titled debut album, right through to 2001, Mariah experienced a meteoric rise to stardom and established herself as one of the most influential and successful artists in the music industry. Hits such as Dream Lover, Hero, and Without You were particularly successful and solidified her status as a pop superstar. Daydream would release in 1995 and begin Mariah's crossover into R&B, collaborating with artists like Boyz II Men, which saw the song One Sweet Day become a record-breaking hit and spent 16 weeks at the top of the Billboard Hot 100. In 1997, Mariah Carey released Butterfly, which signaled a significant shift in her musical style towards a more mature and contemporary R&B sound. Rainbow, released in 1999, continued Mariah's streak of chart-topping albums. It featured the hit single Heartbreaker and collaborations with Jay-Z and Snoop Dogg. It wasn't until 2001 and the release of Glitter that saw Mariah face not only professional but personal challenges as well, and this would ultimately go on to stall what at that time was a continuous upwards trajectory in her career. The release of Glitter in 2001 marked a significant setback in Mariah's career, both commercially and critically. There were several key issues and challenges associated with the film of the same name and its accompanying soundtrack. Mariah had previously been married to Tommy Mottola. However, Mariah and Tommy would end their marriage in 1998, whilst this led to Mariah having more creative control over her music, which is part of the reason we got Butterfly and Rainbow. The divorce also caused some challenges in her career. Tommy at the time held an executive position at Sony Music, which was the same label Mariah was signed to. Mariah has stated that she believes this entanglement led to alleged sabotage attempts by Tommy with the movie soundtrack. While Mariah's relationship with Tommy and her time at Sony Music may have contributed to the challenges surrounding Glitter, it's essential to note that the film and soundtrack faced a combination of other factors that played a significant role in their difficulties. Firstly, the film released on the 21st of September 2001, just a few days after that day in September 2001 in the United States. The timing was extremely unfortunate, as it led to a significant decline in movie attendance, with many people reluctant to go out during a period of national mourning and uncertainty. In addition, the film received overwhelmingly negative reviews from critics. Many reviewers found fault with the film's plot, writing, and overall execution. The critical reception further hindered its chances of success. In conjunction with the movie, the soundtrack also faced issues as well. The lead single, Loverboy, initially had a heavily criticized music video and faced issues with radio airplay, which hindered its chart performance. The original version of the song had a sample from Yellow Magic Orchestra's 1978 hit, Firecracker, however, was changed to Cameo's hit, Candy. This change in sample was as a result of Tommy, who, according to Mariah, arranged for the Firecracker sample to land with Irv Gotti and would go on to be used in Jennifer Lopez's song, I'm Real. The soundtrack's lackluster commercial performance added to the overall disappointment of the project. The soundtrack was heavily influenced by the 80s, which is not what Mariah's fans were used to. In that same year, Mariah signed with Virgin Records after her departure from Sony Music, where she had spent a significant portion of her career. Her move to Virgin Records marked a new chapter in her music career and was part of her effort to assert more creative control over her work and image. Virgin Records, was also going through turmoil. There were contractual disputes and disagreements between Mariah and the label, which further complicated the promotion and release of the soundtrack. In the aftermath of the Glitter release and the challenges she faced during that time, Mariah took a hiatus from the spotlight to focus on her well-being and personal life. This period of self-reflection and recovery would eventually lead to her triumphant return with the album Charmbracelet in 2002. In 2002, Mariah signed with Def Jam Records and began working on her next album, which would be Charmbracelet. Her personal journey during her hiatus influenced the themes and direction of her album, which she released in December 2002. The album was seen as a more personal and introspective body of work, reflecting her experiences and growth. This was evidenced through 2 of the 3 singles released from the album, Through the Rain, which was meant to be an insight into Mariah's personal struggles throughout 2001 and lyrically talks about encouraging others. In Through the Rain, Mariah reflects on her own resilience and the challenges she has faced, both personally and professionally. The song's lyrics convey a message of inner strength and determination in the face of adversity, making it a deeply personal and cathartic song. The song is notable for its powerful vocals, showcasing Mariah's signature vocal range and emotive delivery. It served as a symbol of her comeback and personal transformation during a time when she was emerging from a period of personal struggles and career setbacks. Through the Rain resonates with fans not only because of its lyrical depth, but also because it captures Mariah's ability to convey raw emotion through her music. It has become an anthem of hope and resilience for many, cementing its significance in Mariah's catalogue as a testament to her enduring talent and the strength of the human spirit. The other single released that captures Mariah's feeling during the Charmbracelet era was Bringing on the Heartbreak and was a cover of the 1981 song by Def Leppard. In Mariah's rendition of Bringing on the Heartbreak, she brings her own unique vocal style to this rock ballad. Her version maintains the emotional intensity of the original while infusing it with her signature vocal runs and melismatic delivery. The song's lyrics center around themes of heartbreak and emotional turmoil, portraying the pain of lost love. Mariah's rendition captures the raw emotion and vulnerability of the lyrics. While Mariah is primarily known for her contributions to the R&B and pop genres, her cover of Bringing on the Heartbreak showcased her versatility as an artist and her ability to interpret and convey the deep emotions of a rock ballad. It remains a memorable and respected part of her diverse musical discography. After the Charmbracelet era ended, Mariah began working on her next album, The Emancipation of Mimi. Mariah has stated that the album was both a celebration of success as well as showcasing Mariah as a more contemporary artist. The Emancipation of Mimi marked a significant shift in Mariah's musical style as it embraced a more contemporary R&B and hip-hop sound, moving away from her previous adult contemporary and pop-oriented work. Being under Def Jam allowed Mariah to have more creative control, and having been influenced by R&B and hip-hop throughout her life, Mariah felt it was the right time to put out an album that reflected that love. Many people credited this as being her first true R&B album, with many critics noting the feeling of independence whilst listening to the album. Mariah is also listed as a co-writer and co-producer for most of the songs on the album, as she wanted to give the project a more personal touch and allow for her feelings and thoughts to remain front and center. Mariah began the creative process for the project by collaborating with a diverse group of producers and songwriters, including Jermaine Dupri, Kanye West, and the Neptunes. Mariah had been attempting to work with the Neptunes and Kanye West for a number of years, so was grateful she was able to collaborate on the project. Many of the songs were recorded with a live band and vocals. Mariah didn't want anything overproduced and wanted the music, including the instruments, to stand front and center. The album's title, The Emancipation of Mimi, symbolized Mariah's personal and professional liberation from past challenges and constraints. While Mariah was recording the album, Island Records executive L.A. Reid had learned that close friends referred to the singer as Mimi, and hence the title was formed. Mariah explained that Mimi is a very personal nickname only used by those in her inner circle, and the title meant she was letting her guard down and inviting her fans to be that much closer to her. The album showcased her vocal versatility, with tracks ranging from soulful ballads like We Belong Together to upbeat, urban-influenced songs like Shake It Off. Mariah's vocal performances on the album demonstrated her ability to adapt her renowned vocal range to different genres and emotions whilst blending this with the contemporary sounds of the 2000s.
The record has been very much my whole life for like the past year and a half. I did a lot of really hot, really fun collaborations with people I haven't worked with before. I worked with the Neptunes for the first time. Me and Pharrell have been trying to get together and work together for a long time, so that ended up becoming a party because I was in one studio, Nelly was in the other studio, and Snoop was in the next studio, so we ended up doing all these different, we ended up collaborating and having a party, basically, and it was cool. I worked with Kanye West for the first time, which was really fun. We've been trying to get together to work for a really long time, and this time it happened. We did a song called Stay the Night. I work with Twista, who's one of my favorite rappers. Just his flow, he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest rapper ever. So I think that was cool because I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records for the highest note, so it's kind of cool. And it's a song called One and Only, produced by Traxter, who's a great producer out of Chicago. And something else that was really, really, really fun for me was working with Jermaine Dupri again, who's just like, he's really like family to me. He's so talented. I mean, all the work he's done just over his whole career is so great. But like recently, the stuff he's done with Usher that's been so big and successful for him, I'm just really proud of him. I'm really happy for him. And we did 4 songs on this new record, including It's Like That, the first single. So they're like, those songs really are very close to my heart. And I worked with Big Jim Wright, who's done a lot of work with Sounds of Blackness and Nesby, a lot of different gospel stuff. And we did all our ballads live musicians. It was really cool. I worked with James Poyser, who, obviously from The Roots, from Jill Scott, he's a great musician. We cut our stuff live as well. So I think that the album flows really well from the hip-hop records to the ballads to even inspirational songs, like a song called Fly Like a Bird that actually the pastor from my church is speaking on. And it's just like one of those vocal performances that was very inspired, and I end the album with that song because the album is very much like a fun, happy party record with, of course, some ballads that make you cry and that are really cool but are not overproduced, so you really hear the vocals a lot. But I wanted to end it on that really, it's a very positive note, but it's a very meaningful song to me because it is spiritual, and my life has been a journey that God has put me on, like he puts everybody on a journey. So it's like I'm at this really great point in my life, and I just wanted to share that message with everybody, out there, the spiritual part of who I am. So I think people are going to see a different side of me on this record. I don't know that wasn't really what I was thinking when I wrote that song. It was more, I wanted to be free. Like that song is kind of about like when you're in a situation that might be unhappy or bleak or just not, seem like someplace you want to be. It's like more of like I need to escape. That was what that song was about. But it's more of a prayer, like please carry me higher, carry me out of this moment. Basically, I just write from experience, and then sometimes I take the music and listen to it. When we're writing the melody and just laying out the foundation, and I go, this makes me feel like this situation, or this reminds me of that thing from the past. So, sometimes it's really directly from my real life, and sometimes it is something a friend's going through, and sometimes it's just whatever the music makes me feel. A lot of times, even if I'm working on the song with somebody, and we're struggling with one part, I'll like take a little walk, go get something to eat, go do whatever, and come back and be like, I got it. You know what I mean? It's just sometimes when you get like the moments by yourself, the peaceful moments, the ideas come to you. I have a few different favorite songs on this record. I love Shake It Off with Jermaine Dupri. I love Say Something that I did with the Neptunes with Snoop. Fly Like a Bird is one of my favorites. I love a song called Mine Again that I did with James Poyser. There's a lot of different moods, so it's really hard to pick one. And also We Belong Together is the second single, and that's really, really a favorite. I was just in the...
The first single from the album was It's Like That. Released in January 2005, combined elements of R&B and hip-hop, featuring a catchy and infectious beat and complemented by Mariah's soulful vocals. The track was written by a number of writers, including Mariah, Jermaine Dupri, and Jonta Austin. Jonta contributed to a number of other tracks for the album, including We Belong Together and Don't Forget About Us. Jermaine and Mariah also produced the track. It's Like That explores themes of empowerment, self-confidence, and personal liberation. The lyrics convey a sense of breaking free from constraints and living life to the fullest. The song's verses discuss leaving behind negativity and embracing a carefree and joyful attitude. The chorus emphasizes the sentiment that life is meant to be enjoyed and danced through, no matter the circumstances. Mariah's delivery is confident and sassy, and she conveys a sense of empowerment throughout the track. Originally, the song Stay the Night was intended to be the lead single from the album, after being announced in the UK, however was later pulled, and Say Something with Snoop Dogg was announced was the lead single. Following a meeting with execs, including L.A. Reid, it was agreed for Mariah to have one final session with Jermaine Dupri, which a number of songs which would go on to be released as singles would be composed. This included the eventual lead single It's Like That, along with Mariah's signature song We Belong Together. L.A. Reid and Mariah agreed that It's Like That was the perfect first single as it set the tone of the Emancipation era, whilst giving Mariah a new sound. The music video for It's Like That features Mariah Carey in a luxurious mansion surrounded by friends and partygoers. It showcases extravagant and glamorous party scenes, dance sequences, and Mariah's stunning wardrobe changes. A large budget was put behind the video, with actors Eric Roberts and Wentworth Miller being brought on as love interests. The pair would also appear in the video for Mariah's follow-up single, We Belong Together, which would serve as a part 2 to It's Like That. The song received mostly positive reviews from critics, with many praising both Mariah's vocals along with the production and new sound direction. It's Like That served as a strong reintroduction to Mariah's music career after a period of relative commercial decline. The song's themes of empowerment and carefree living resonated with listeners and became an anthem of liberation. The song performed well commercially, achieving significant success, peaking at number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, and would spend 20 weeks on the chart, becoming her most successful single in the US since Loverboy. The single reached number 4 on the UK singles chart and performed well in other countries including Canada and Australia. It became a top 10 hit in multiple countries and contributed to Mariah's resurgence on the international music scene. The follow-up single We Belong Together was released in March 2005 and would serve as a direct follow-up to It's Like That. As mentioned, actors Roberts and Miller again featured. We Belong Together is one of Mariah Carey's signature songs and a standout track from the album. The song was again written by a number of writers including Mariah, Jermaine and Jonta, and contains a number of samples including the piano melody from the 1977 song Stairs and Whispers by Renee Gaia. The song is an R&B ballad with production being characterized by its lush instrumentation, including piano and keyboard, however Mariah's vocal takes center stage. The song is a poignant and emotionally charged song that explores the themes of lost love, longing and regret. The lyrics convey a sense of heartbreak and nostalgia as the singer reflects on a past relationship that has ended and having a deep desire to reunite with their lost love or feeling incomplete without them. The song's chorus with the repeated phrase, "We belong together," encapsulates the central theme of longing and the belief that the two lovers are destined to be together. Mariah's heartfelt delivery of the lyrics adds to the emotional impact of the song, making it relatable to anyone who has experienced the pain of a breakup. We Belong Together became a career redefining song for the singer, at a point when many critics had considered her career over. Mariah received positive reviews from critics, with most who considered the song a return to form, given that Mariah was most well known for her ballads. The track went platinum in a number of countries, including the US, UK, and Australia, and would go on to receive a number of awards, including a Billboard Award and 2 Grammy Awards. The song also received a popular remix produced by DJ Clue, which featured rappers Styles P and Jadakiss. The remix is more up-tempo than the original and features reworked vocals recorded by Mariah. Mariah has been known to record different vocals for remixes to her singles, and this is something that she has done since her Daydream album. The video serving as the second part to It's Like That ultimately saw Mariah reunited with her lost love and flees her own wedding, leading to a series of humorous and dramatic events. The video contributed to the song's popularity and received positive reviews for its storytelling and Mariah's acting. We Belong Together remains one of the singer's most beloved and enduring songs. Its emotional depth, impressive chart performance, and timeless appeal have solidified its status as a classic in the world of R&B and pop music. The video would go on to be one of the most expensive ever made, costing a reported $2.5 million and was shot over 2 days. Interestingly, the wedding dress that was featured was Mariah's actual Vera Wang wedding dress that she wore when she married her ex-husband. The third single released from the album in July 2005 was Shake It Off, and again was written by Mariah, Jermaine and Jonta. The song is an up-tempo R&B track which was also produced by Jermaine Dupri, Mariah Carey and Brian Michael Cox. Lyrically, the song describes as Mariah moves on from her relationship with an unfaithful lover, packing her things and breaking up with him over an answering machine. Mariah's vocal performance in Shake It Off is spirited and confident, perfectly capturing the song's empowering and carefree message. Sonically, the track drew comparisons to Usher's Confessions, possibly due to the bouncy beat arrangement. Again, the song performed exceptionally well and was considered a commercial success, receiving positive reviews from music critics. The song also performed well on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, peaking at number 2, making it yet another standout track from the album. Interestingly, the song was held off the number 1 spot on the chart by Mariah's previous single, We Belong Together, meaning that Mariah occupied both the top 2 spots on the Billboard chart. This resulted for the first time in Billboard history that a solo female held both spots on the chart at the same time. The track again was a success internationally, performing well in the UK, Ireland, Australia and New Zealand. Similar to Mariah's previous releases, a remix was also put front and centre alongside the original version, with rapper Young Jeezy being featured. Whilst this remix was not as popular as Mariah's remixes released from prior projects, it further helped to push Mariah back onto different music stations, including both mainstream pop and more specialised urban radio stations. It was also rumoured at the time of release that the remix originally intended to feature Jay-Z instead of Young Jeezy. A remix featuring both rappers has since been released in 2022 as part of a Shake It Off EP. Get Your Number, which featured Jermaine Dupri, was the 4th single released from the project. However, this was only released in Europe and Australia, but not the US, primarily due to strategic decisions made by Def Jam at the time. Record labels often tailor their release strategies to specific markets. In this case, Get Your Number may have been perceived as having greater potential in the European market, where certain styles of R&B and dance music were more popular at the time. The decision to release or promote a single can depend on various factors, including radio airplay, music video plans, and label priorities. It's possible that the label chose to focus on other singles in the United States, while Get Your Number was selected for promotion in Europe. Get Your Number was pushed as a double A-side with Shake It Off in the States. Continuing with the same formula, the track was produced by Mariah, JD and B. Cox, and features a prominent sample by the British group Imagination from their 1982 song, Just an Illusion. The song, whilst playful, is based on Mariah attempting to get someone's phone number with various ways to entice them by giving her love interest 1 digit at a time throughout the video. Jermaine raps the chorus throughout the song, earning him an official feature for his vocals. The song is a perfect blend between pop and R&B and helped to continue the momentum started during the Emancipation era, fusing Mariah's signature vocals with more contemporary sounds of the mid-2000s. Critically, the song was met with mixed reviews, with some praising the arrangement and light-hearted aspect of the track, whilst others felt it was silly, with some criticising Jermaine's rapping skills on the track. Commercially, the song fared modestly on the charts, peaking at number 5 in the UK and number 19 in Australia. Given the lack of heavy promotion in the States, this could also have impacted its international success. At this point during the Emancipation era, the album, along with its singles released, had been received commercially and critically very well, with many already stating that the Emancipation of Mimi marked the return of Mariah to mainstream music. The album at that point had sold 4 million records in the States alone, marking it a success. Whilst deciding on the next single, Mariah remembered a song that she had started during the recording process but was unable to finish due to time constraints, and after discussing with L.A. Reid, they agreed that the song should be finished and the album re-released to celebrate its success. Mariah was keen to complete the song as she loved it and didn't want to wait until her next project to release the track. The song Don't Forget About Us is characterized by its lush, melodic R&B sound, featuring a prominent piano melody, soft harmonies, and Mariah's signature vocal performance. Mariah's vocal delivery in the song is emotive and passionate, conveying a sense of longing and vulnerability. Don't Forget About Us is a song that revolves around themes of lost love and nostalgia. The lyrics tell the story of a past relationship that holds a special place in the singer's heart. The song's message is a plea to the former lover not to forget the memories and emotions they once shared. While the lyrics convey a sense of yearning and sadness, there is also a compassionate and empathetic undertone. Mariah's performance captures the bittersweet nature of the sentiment. In keeping with Mariah's previous releases, the remix featured rappers Juelz Santana and Bone Thugs in harmony, whilst the Desert Storm remix featured Fabulous and Styles P. The remix offered listeners a different perspective to the track. The inclusion of a rapper like Juelz Santana attracted a broader range of music fans and diversified the song's audience, considering the original was an R&B ballad. After completing the song, Mariah announced in October 2005 via her website that she would be re-releasing The Emancipation of Mimi. Additionally, she explained how the album would contain 4 new songs and would be promoted internationally by the new single, which was titled Don't Forget About Us. The song was released globally as the 5th official single from The Emancipation of Mimi and the first from the re-release, tentatively titled The Ultra Platinum Edition. The re-release also featured a new cover which was in keeping with the style of the original. The song received generally positive reviews from music critics, with many comparing it sonically to We Belong Together. Some critics mentioned Mariah's lack of creativity with it, while others embraced its radio-friendly formula. Don't Forget About Us became her 17th chart-topping single on the US Billboard Hot 100, tying the record for most #1 singles by a solo artist, originally set by Elvis Presley in 1969. The track also performed well internationally in parts of Europe and Australia. The song alongside We Belong Together have remained a staple in Mariah's tours and performances since its release. Fly Like a Bird was another one of her personal favourites on the album due to the subject matter. Taking a step back from the up-tempo tracks released so far, Fly Like a Bird is defined by its gospel music influence, with a slow tempo, soulful melodies, and prominent use of a choir. Mariah's vocal performance in the song is particularly remarkable, showcasing her impressive range and signature talent that she is known for. The song was also compared to Mariah's previous song, Vision of Love. Mariah created the chorus and melodies before reaching out to producer James Big Jim Wright for help to finish the track. During their meeting, Wright helped Mariah arrange the song's chord structure, as well as produce the introduction, while Mariah finished the rest of the lyrics. The lyrics depict a deep sense of spirituality and a yearning for freedom and release from life's challenges. The singer expresses a desire to fly like a bird and find solace and peace. The gospel choir in the song adds a layer of reverence and emotional intensity, enhancing the song's spiritual message. The song also featured Mariah's pastor, who reads 2 scriptures from the Bible. While Fly Like a Bird was not released as a commercial single, it received acclaim from music critics and was well received by Mariah's fanbase. The song was often performed by Mariah during live concerts and special performances, where her vocal prowess and the song's spiritual message resonated deeply with audiences. A music video was later planned for release, following the moderate success of the digital download. However, Mariah stated that it could not be filmed despite a concept having been created. The final release from the album was Say Something, which featured Snoop Dogg. The track produced by the Neptunes is a standout not only on the album, but at the time of release was sonically very different to anything that Mariah had released up to that point. Still within R&B and having influences of hip-hop throughout, it captures the style that the Neptunes were known for during the mid-2000s. Interestingly, this was one of the tracks from the album that did not have any input into the production by Mariah, with Williams and Hugo taking full control. The track was intended to be the lead single from the album after it was leaked online. However, as we know, Mariah opted to go with It's Like That. The track is a dialogue between a male and female that discuss sexual themes and acts of which they plan to engage in a restroom. Say Something is a playful and flirtatious song that explores themes of attraction, confidence, and communication. The lyrics depict a situation where two individuals are drawn to each other, and Mariah encourages her love interest to express their feelings and not be shy about it. The video features Mariah and Williams as love interests, being chased by several paparazzi vehicles down a populated Paris road. Other scenes feature Mariah trying on several outfits in Louis Vuitton's flagship store on Champs-Élysées, as well as close-up shots of Snoop Dogg. The video concluded with the duo walking together down the Le Pont de Paris bridge, overlooking the Seine River. While it didn't reach the same chart heights as some of Mariah's other singles, it was a popular and well-received track, particularly for its catchy and radio-friendly sound. Critically, the song received mixed reviews, with some praising Mariah for further expanding her style and sound, with others accusing Mariah of using gimmicks and trends to stay relevant. The So So Def remix featured Dem Franchise Boys and was produced by longtime collaborator Jermaine Dupri. Regardless, the single displayed Mariah was versatile in her musical styles and approach, and able to adapt well, working with different music producers, and was a great way to finish off the Emancipation era. The album is widely regarded as a landmark album in her career and a critical turning point. It was considered a massive commercial success, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart and remained there for 11 consecutive weeks. The album received widespread critical acclaim from music critics. It was praised for its diverse range of R&B and pop tracks, Mariah's impressive vocal performances, and the album's overall cohesiveness. This would result in Mariah earning 3 Grammys for the album in 2006. The Emancipation of Mimi played a pivotal role in revitalizing Mariah Carey's career. It solidified her status as one of the most enduring and successful artists in the music industry. The album also laid the groundwork for future projects from Mariah, which took on a similar style both sonically and visually, including Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel and Me I Am Mariah, the Elusive Chanteuse. The Emancipation album elevated Mariah from superstar to icon, is considered one of the greatest musical comebacks in history, selling an estimated 12 million copies worldwide. Mariah performed many of the album's tracks during her The Adventures of Mimi tour in 2006, which became one of the highest-grossing tours by a female artist that year. The album boasts confidence, excellence, and liberation, as well as luxury and decadence, from the album's cover art featuring a dress by Dolce & Gabbana to Mariah's raw talent and emotion that has been poured out on the album. Its chart-topping success, critical acclaim, and enduring influence on subsequent generations of artists have cemented its place as a seminal work in Mariah's discography and in the broader landscape of contemporary music.